Hey everybody, and welcome to Northernlion Plays The Cave. I'm just going to load into my save file here. Let's talk a little bit about The Cave before we get started, because this is a game, if all goes well, these videos will be going up just as the game comes out. So a lot of you might not be totally familiar with this, but this is the new game from Double Fine, and it's actually directed by Ron Gilbert, who, if you're a point-and-click adventure fan, you're probably pretty familiar with his work. He did Maniac Mansion, the Monkey Island games, as well as Day of the Tentacle, stuff like that. So he's got a very storied history in the point-and-click adventure genre. And what's cool about The Cave is that when you look at screenshots or even gameplay footage, it kind of looks like a physics-based puzzle platformer, but it's very much like a point-and-click adventure game reimagined and kind of fit into this platformer mold, which is really interesting. You'll see that when we get involved in the puzzles here. I am playing a pre-release copy, but as far as I know, it is the final build. I just managed to get it early, and I have to say, big ups. Everyone should say a big thank you to YouTube user Red Panda Gamer, or Red Panda Gaming. I hope I didn't F that up. I'll put a link to his channel in the video description. He managed to give me an early access copy to this, which was basically a lifesaver, because you know I suck at these puzzles most of the time. But this is a game that's got some really charming writing, some really interesting puzzles, so I'm going to do a Let's Play here. Keep in mind, every Let's Play of this game is going to be different because the game changes based on the characters you choose. But without further ado, I'm going to get started. I'm just going to make sure subtitles are on here right from the get-go. And indeed they are. So I'm going to shut up during most of the voice acting because that is a big draw of this game, but we're going to get started. Yes, it's okay if you destroy my existing save.
Don't let my sultry and mysterious voice startle you. For hundreds, nay thousands, nay tens of thousands of years, people have come to me in search of what they desire most. Few find what they are looking for. Even fewer ever leave. Welcome to The Cave. That's me, The Cave. Yes, I'm a talking cave. Don't laugh. It makes dating hell. Besides, I have a really interesting story to tell you this evening, so pay attention. It's a story of 7 people and a glimpse into a dark place in each of their hearts. But be careful before you judge. There is a dark place in your heart as well. Someday you will find yourself descending my depths in search of what you desire. And you might not like what you find either. But enough about you. This is about them.
Alright, so we're going to be introduced to our characters here. So our narrator, who is going to be omnipresent throughout the game, is The Cave, the eponymous cave. He's just going to be narrating basically what happens inside of him, which, as I say that, actually sounds kind of gross. But let's get introduced to our 7 characters here, and we are going to choose 3 of them. So I'm going to start this by moving to the right, and we'll see who we talk about first.
The scientist. She is on the cusp of a great discovery for all of humankind, and 100 million lives hang in the balance.
And then we have
the adventurer. She is hot on the trail of her lost companions and unequaled ancient treasure, but not necessarily in that order.
And followed by the Tim Burton-esque twins.
The twins. They just want to go outside and play. What could be more innocent than that?
Dhalsim.
The monk. He seeks his master so he can become the master. It's a journey filled with peace and enlightenment. And murder. I'm sorry. The knight.
Solaire of Astora.
Quest for a sword of unequaled power and prestige. But will he find it before anyone else gets hurt?
And then we also have 2 more remaining. Just bear with me here as I introduce the characters. Again, I'm trying to show off as much of the VO as possible, because the writing and the voice acting is one of the big draws of this game for sure.
On this fine night, he searches for his true love, but does desire burn too brightly in his heart?
And finally, the Time Traveler.
She is here to right a wrong 1,000,000 years in the making. Fortunately for her, yesterday is a new day.
So one of the big draws of The Cave, I might end up accidentally talking over the narrator just a little bit here, but hopefully it won't be as bad as it was in Bastion. But basically, we have 7 characters here, and the really interesting thing about The Cave is that A, these guys all have their own unique abilities, which kind of makes it possible for them to traverse different areas that we'll come across in the cave, and B, the game will change completely, or largely, based on whatever characters you take. So each of these characters, as far as I can tell in like the 3 or 4 hours I've spent with the game so far, has kind of like their own puzzle-specific world in the game. So the scientist has their own world, the adventurer has a very different world from the scientist, and so on and so forth. We're actually going to play basically an identical playthrough to what I played off camera. So I'm going to be rolling with the scientist, who we can then move with, and we'll pick our other characters later in a second. So again, we're going to be doing things that I've done before, so this is not a totally blind playthrough of the cave, but that's important because otherwise I would just be stuck on these puzzles forever. So you could almost consider this almost as much of a walkthrough as it is a, I don't know, gameplay commentary or a let's play, but I'm going to try to keep the commentary a good mix of both because I think that's important. So one of the things, I played the cave back at PAX 2012. By the way, there is some like frame rate issue. I'm playing this game on the 360. That's just native to the game, even when I'm not recording, it has some frame rate problems on the 360, which is probably the biggest knock that I have against this game, but I digress. When I played this at PAX Prime 2012, I kind of was under the impression that in the cave you would switch between like all 7 of the characters available to you, kind of in a similar way to like a Trine or a Party of Sin or something like that. But actually the 3 characters that you take at the start are going to be the characters that you're with for the entirety of your cave-like journey. Now, each trip through the cave is probably going to take you, well, I mean the first one's going to be longer because there are some puzzles that you have to take regardless of who you're with. But, you know, my first run through took me probably around 3 hours.
You buy it.
So I'm going to go with the Knight next.
Has been safety tested with more than 2 people.
No, not the Time Traveler. The Adventurer. Okay, so I'm going to go Scientist, Adventurer, Knight. And again, the reason I'm doing this is because I know what puzzles these guys are going to face, which means this shouldn't be a 50-part Let's Play. It's more like a Dark Souls Let's Play for me than like I don't know, like an FTL where I'm going in totally blind or something like that. I have some experience with this game, and I want to bring some expertise, because I think a lot of people are going to find themselves getting stuck. And again, big ups to Red Panda Gamer.
That bridge breaks, there might be no way back up.
Because I'm playing a... excuse me, narrator.
Breaks. Who am I kidding?
Because we were playing this game pre-release, the ability to talk to each other on Skype actually made it possible for us to solve a lot of the puzzles that we came across. So again, big ups to him. I'm sure he's going to have cave videos up, so check that out. So you can see here, this is our first easy puzzle. The bridge just says, or has a sign that says, don't put 3 people on this or it's going to collapse. It's pretty obvious. So these are going to be our 3 going forward. The Knight, by the way, his power, ability to get some invincibility. The Adventurer's power is a grappling hook, which we can only use in certain context-specific situations. And the Scientist has the ability to do some sweet Goodwill Hunting shit here. It's actually the ability to do some, like, mathematics, basically. So we're going to follow through here. These are going to be the 3 characters that we are going to be with for the duration of our cave journey. It's possible I might do more runs through of the cave with different characters, just to